Hey everybody, this is Footy Off and welcome to another Minecraft video on the Frillcraft server. Right, today I'm over at Smurfs' new base. He's found a jungle and he's found a jungle temple and he wants to make his base over here, which is brilliant. And he asked me the other day if I had a lot of stone, and I don't have a lot of stone. However, I might be able to help him out. Now, you must have heard the old saying, give a man a fish and he'll feed his family for a day. Teach a man to fish and he'll feed his family forever. And that's the kind of thing. Well, that's what I think I'm going to do for Smurfy. Instead of just giving him some stone, I'm going to give him the ability to make as much stone as he wants. And by that I mean I'm going to make him a stone generator. And I'm going to stick it bang in the middle. He wants to make a massive, and it is going to be massive, pyramid out of stone brick. I think he might use something else, but predominantly stone brick, and he wants to build it all. It's going to be huge, so he's going to need a lot of stone. So I said I'd help him out, being the friendly fellow that I am. Now everybody, I'm pretty sure, has seen the good old stone generator. Let me see if I can knock one up just for those of you who haven't seen one. Well, I'm pretty sure most of you have. So if we stick that there, a bit of glass, we want an observer on top of that. Is that about right? Does that look about right? Yeah, maybe. And then grab a bit of water and my lava. So if we stick some water here, because as you know, to make smooth stone, the lava needs to fall down directly on top of the lava, otherwise you make cobble. So if we stick that there, stick that around there, and stick a bit of lava in it, just there. Now every time the lava turns the bottom into stone, it turns it into stone, the bottom piston forces the stone out. So that's what happens, but that is very slow. I mean, he can stand here and he can do this. But it's going to take him forever to get any stone, isn't it? I mean, let's face it, he's going to be here for, especially with how much stone he wants, he's going to be here for days. So I want to try and quicken it up a little bit. And I want to use 4 bits of lava. And I've come up with a bit of a design. So I'm going to knock it up. It's going to mean digging into the floor a little bit. But I'll do that and I'll get the basic design of it in. I hope he doesn't mind me building it bang in the middle of this pyramid. I mean, if he does, then I'm in a bit of trouble. Because I've not asked him. I've not asked him. I've just come over here and started doing it. So let me get rid of this. I'll dig a bit of... I need to dig in the floor quite a bit. And I'll put the basic mechanism down. And then we'll have a look at it. And we'll see whether or not it's going to do what we want it to do. Right, so I've dug myself a bit of a hole. We'll have the basics of it here. And then we'll probably have all the stone being pushed that way. And then when he's finished with it, we'll just knock it down. So if we find the middle, I need the middle of this thing to start with. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And I want the stone to be pushed up, straight up there. So the lava's going to have to be around here. And we're going to need some redstone knocking about going into it. So if we have like that, That like that. So we're going to have some kind of setup like we had before. Very similar to what you saw earlier on, where the lava is going to be above the water. There's going to be like an infinite water source around this piston, sort of completely surrounding the piston, just above it, and the lava is going to be above that, and it's going to fall down onto the water, creating stone. And we're going to have some observer blocks and pistons pushing the stone into the center, so it all sort of accumulates above this block, and that's just going to push it straight up. So as usual, let me put a bit of redstone down, but there's going to be this on the other side as well. We're going to have exactly the same setup over here. And then with a bit of redstone up here, and it's probably going to go around here as well. And then, anyway, let me do it. I'm talking again, and you guys are probably yawning. So let me just do it, and we'll have a look. I will do one side of it. I'll do this side, and then we'll have a look at it. Right, so I've stuck the pistons in, and I've put some, even though I don't need them because there's sort of earth everywhere, but I've put some obsidian behind the back of the pistons because these pistons will be pushing against each other. So it was just like a belt and braces kind of thing. So now I need to get out of here, and I need to completely fill the bottom with, I don't really need glass, do I? No, I'll use stone. So all of this needs to be filled up, I think. Could do with leaving a bit of light down here, you know, flashing redstone and everything. The bane of Minecraft, flashing redstone. Now all of this needs to be filled in with water. Fortunately, we're surrounded by an absolute boatload of water. And I've only got one bucket. Only got one bucket I can use. Perfect. So now we need to... I need some observer blocks above here, don't I? This is where I'm not going to be able to place them. Need some observer block. Oh. Need observers here. Yeah. Can I place it? Oh, I can place it. So now every time, now we're going to put lava there, and every time that state changes, the observers are going to detect it, and that piston is going to push the stone over in front of this piston, and we're going to connect it up to the... Remember, we put two pistons down there on two ticks. So this is going to connect up with that. So if I do that and that, we need a repeater there on one tick. This one has to fire before the bottom one does. We'll do the same here. Okay. Same here. Is that right? Okay, so if I put something in there now, did you see that? That pushed it onto that, pushed it into that, pushed it upwards. Fabulous. It looks okay. It looks okay, right? The only way I suppose to test it is to stick some lava in and see what happens. So if I surround this, don't have to use glass, I don't think, but I'm going to use glass so I can see what's going on. Can't put anything over the middle. Right, so now if I put lava in front of one of these, proof of the pudding and everything. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's quite slow though, isn't it? Let's see if we can sort that out. Right, I don't know now whether I can start it just by breaking these. Oh, I can. That's more like it. That's more like it, indeedy. Excellent. So now we need to push those over this way, don't we? We need to stick some pistons down and get them pushing over there. So let me put a bit of a floor down. Have we got plenty of dirt? I'll put a bit of a floor over the top of it, because the last thing I wanted to be doing is falling in there. There's plenty of lava in there, so it shouldn't be dark, so that it shouldn't cause me any lag with that. Right, so I need some pistons here now, don't I? So let's look down a few pistons. Now, right, so when they get to this high then, when they get to that height, they'll push them across down a wall of pistons, very similar to the tree farm we built the other day. Can I reach that one with my pick? Yeah, I can. So what I'm going to do is hook up the... I'm going to put an observer at the top. So when the top block reaches the observer, it's going to fire some kind of monostable circuit, which is going to fire all of these and push all of the blocks this way. Cool. Okay, so we've got the back wall of pistons in. We've got the side pushing pistons there. We've got a bit of redstone in that fires these pistons when the stone gets to the top. So as soon as it reaches the top of the observer, it fires through that monostable circuit there, that pulse shortener, which fires all of those pistons together. Now I could have used observer blocks, but that would have meant firing them at different ticks. So the top two would have fired first, then the two below it, then the two below that, then the bottom two. So that sort of takes 4 or 5 ticks for all of those pistons to fire, which defeats the object of having quite a fast stone generator. So that's why I've done it this way. It looks messy and there's probably a better way to do it, but it serves a purpose. Crikey, it's night again. So now I've just got to stick in the mechanism that fires all of this, and we'll do that the good old-fashioned way with a redstone torch that I don't have on me. So if we have a redstone torch there, we have a bit of dust there, we have an observer. You've seen this before. Seen this before when I was doing my tree farm. I have an observer there into a block. Oh, what's happening here? And we'll cover that with redstone dust, and I'll do that all the way up using observers. Okay, so I've got the I was going to say I've got the paperwork. I've been at work all day. I've got the paperwork. I've got the redstone put at the back, hopefully all linked up, and I've stuck a button on there to restart it. Once it's completely full, it's going to stop, and it won't restart again until you fire all of those pistons. So Hopefully this button's going to do that. And once because the lava is sort of fired on a random tick, or it's generated using random ticks, hopefully when they get out of sync, this thing's going to start going quite quickly. Certainly quicker than it would be on its own. And it's because all the pistons are pushing simultaneously on the left hand side, you see it doesn't stop the stone from going up. There we go. Fingers crossed. Ah. Oh, what happened? What have I done? Have I... Schoolboy error? Have I really done that? I've really done that. How could I miss a bit of redstone dust there? Idiot! You'd have thought I'd have checked that before I made myself look like a complete plank, didn't you? There, right, I made a complete pig's ear of that, but I've got it working again now. Hopefully that will do the job. Seems to be very laggy on here at the moment, and I don't know why, because there's only me on here. So I'm not quite sure why it's laggy. Anyway, it seems to be going again now. Excellent. So that is working great. Now I think what I'm going to do now, because it still means you still have to mine this manually, and this still is, even with an efficiency 5 pick, it's still quite a laborious task. So what I'm going to do for Smurfster is I'm going to make him a beacon. I've got a beacon. Where's my beacon? There's my beacon. So I'm going to make up some iron blocks, stick it bang in the middle of his base, and stick a beacon on it with Haste II on it, and then that way we should be able to mine this stuff PDQ. So let me do that. Back in a minute. Okay, so in the time it's taken me to build a beacon, we've got this much stone, which is fantastic. So we'll just let it completely fill up. There can't be a lot left now, actually. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only a few more rows that it has to come out. Okay, brilliant. So we've got a full cube of stone. Now, because we've got haste on our beacon as well, going to be a piece of cake just to whip through the bottom layers. And then just look up. I mean, how superb is this? So there you go, Smurfy, if you're watching. Shouldn't have to worry too much about stone anymore now. Fabulous, and we've got loads of stone. Gotta lob this away and start it running again. Lovely. Let's get this up and running again, then we'll chip off and do something else. Yeah, very happy with that. Shame about the lag. It does works a lot better when there's no lag. Not quite sure what's causing all of that. And while I've been here, we've managed to accumulate half a double chest of stone. So while he's around here doing a bit of work, doing a bit of building, his stone is going to be generating. Then he can just mine it and carry on. Fabulous. There you go, Smurf. Enjoy. Oh, I nearly forgot. Before I go, I've got a pick that I'm going to give you, Smurf. Well, I'm going to loan it to you. It's a Stone Master Efficiency 5 Silk Touch Unbreaking 3 Mending pick. So use it wisely, my little Padawan. And hopefully you'll have many a happy day mining stone. Right, I was going to go off and do something else now, but I'm pretty sure I've used up about 20 odd minutes. So this has really run away from me, this episode. I didn't expect this to be anywhere near as long as it has been. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. This is Fully Off at Smurfspace, and I am out of here.